You are life, and life is eternal. You were before this body, you are in this body, and you will be when your body is cast off. You were, are, and always will be. You are a holographic being. You are the center of this massive creation. You emit and attract back and forth to you and from you. See the world outside of you. There's nothing outside. Is a seeming reflection of your mind. You are a spiritual being, eternal life. You are the universe that happens in the stars. You are the source, and everything is what you are. You are the center of this massive creation. You are a piece of God, a part of the Creator, made in His image, gives you all the power on earth and heaven. You have the ability to create just like God. So, how do we do that? We use a tool called mind, and I would really like to talk about how to use this tool, the mind, in appropriate ways, because we all are not really using but rather misusing it in inappropriate ways, and then we miscreate bad habits, unfortunate situations, unhappiness, bad experiences, and bad relationships. So let us dive into non-dualistic teachings or teachings of oneness. I am in my third year of daily practicing non-dualistic teachings. Each morning I always do the lesson in non-dualistic teachings first thing in the morning when I wake up. I make tea and I practice. And this is what I would like to share on this YouTube channel, besides my life in a van. So today I would really like to share these two lessons about reality and our mind. We have not been taught the power of our thoughts. We only see it at school, and we get taught about all this bullshit in external world, about physics, laws and physics and stuff like that, which is very limited. Every single thought is a prayer that asks for something. That means that every single thought there's on anybody's mind brings something to you. You emit a frequency when you create a thought, when you fire a thought, and that frequency travels throughout the universe. Every single thought, that's how powerful you are, on anybody's mind, affects the very other side of the universe. That's how powerful you are. Sometimes we feel we are stuck in a rut of our daily life, daily job, relationships. Maybe we live in a place that we don't genuinely enjoy living in. The mundaneness and the repetition of our life remain there because we don't change our mind. So let's talk about this a bit. Everything is empty. Everything we see, if you take a look around and look at the objects in front of you, around you, right in front of you and in the distance, and try to understand this nothingness, as Jay says it, or Buddha says emptiness, and repeat yourself. Repeat the idea in your mind. This idea. Everything I see means nothing. Now this triggers ego, so you'll just have to go with it. Everything I see doesn't mean anything. And repeat it a few times. And then close your eyes and come back to your mind. Observe your thoughts for a minute. And apply this very same idea to your own thoughts. These thoughts do not mean anything. Thoughts create ideas, and then ideas create world. So why do my thoughts, why they don't mean anything? The first step is to become aware of thoughts. Most people are completely unaware of this river of meaningless thoughts just flowing, and ego gets triggered. So step away from it. Don't act on it. Don't raise some heated emotions just because you hear this statements. Be present. Stay with me. It's a huge hit for an ego. So just breathe. Follow my voice. So we would like to apply this idea that our thoughts do not mean anything. And this applies to all the thoughts of which you are aware or become aware in this practice period. The reason the idea is applicable to all of them is that they are not your real thoughts. This is hard to believe, but we are deconstructing false beliefs here that we've been fed throughout life, throughout the education system and propaganda. We are questioning reality here, but we need to come back to the mind, as there is nothing outside ourselves. We only project our thoughts and ideas, and that creates the physical, seemingly solid world. So this correction process we are doing here, the mind training, it's correction process because it's the clarification of a mind, begins with the idea that the thoughts of which you are aware are meaningless. That means that they are meaningless because they are not your original thoughts. At some point in life, they were without you knowing or giving permission. They've been put inside your consciousness, and then you act on it without being aware that you think, believe, and do things that are actually not out of your genuine presence, genuine will. Most people live their lives based on other people's expectations. Your parents want you to study a certain subject, belong to a certain religion, marry a certain person. Even in the West, most people follow other people's orders rather than listening to their own heart. So, the mind. Let's drop into our heart instead of ruminating around within our minds too much. Think with your heart first. It's stronger than the brain. Make heart-based decisions, and then submit the mind to the heart to get you from point A to point B. That's how I do it, and that's what my life looks like. So my thoughts do not mean anything because they are not my original thoughts. They are deeply conditioned by society programs, propaganda programs, TV, news, education system, people, teachers, parents, school buddies, everybody and everything around you. The presence of these thoughts means that you are not thinking. These thoughts don't matter, so just agree that you are not thinking at all. Your mind, my mind, is really blank. To recognize this is to recognize nothingness. When you think, you see it. Or emptiness, as Buddha calls it. As such, it is the prerequisite for vision. In other words, perceiving the truth as it is, the reality, true reality. So, the prerequisite for vision, to understanding what you are and the reality, the truth, you are the reality, is understanding that thoughts do not mean anything. They are nothing, they are empty. Your mind is blank. Those thoughts are not yours. They don't mean anything because they are not your real thoughts. So recognize emptiness, nothingness. Just practice throughout the day, all day, every day. Recognize that your mind is really blank.